Jump cut. Welcome everyone back to Haymakers and Hellhounds. I hope the jump cut wasn't too scary. I am Thomas Duder, author of the things. In case you haven't forgotten, you have forgotten. Never mind. Of course, this is something new for Haymakers and Hellhounds, but I'm still going to keep it 100 and edit the fuck out of it. But I've already given my promise that I won't edit for content, just edit for jump cuts. And if I do this thing where I'm constantly clicking, stuff like that, making noises like that, or breathing heavy and shit. We don't like no Darth Vader up in here. Once again, this is episode 6. Technically, by the time we recorded this, episode 3 should be going up. Yay for time. I'm learning this. This shit's new for me still. But I'm here with Satterwhite, who is the writer of The Crystal Age, backslash, he's still going to be working on the title, backslash, The New Hope, backslash, you know my name. What was the name of your book again?
Forlorn Hope, title / 100% changing, guaranteed, no matter what, / everything.
Yeah. Working title. His name is working title. Not so. Prequel consequences. Now, I just blew about it technically 3 weeks from now from this recording. I definitely tagged you into this just because, just from what I read in the beta for your stuff, or was it a gamma, whatever you want to call that, of your writing, the history that you had presented in the book was just jaw-dropping to me. It was great. And even more so is how I wanted to know, definitely, I want to pick your mind a little bit, and also let the good people of our audience know what went into that, as far as what did the prequel consequences, the backstory that you created, how did it affect what you were writing? You know what I mean? Because obviously, as the writer, you know what has happened. You're the guy that knows everything to a point. Sometimes stuff will happen. How it goes.
When I have to look back in my story, in particular, I have to. I look at, because originally when I started writing this book, I started the very first book I was going to write. I didn't even write a book. I originally wanted to just design video games. Now, speaking of the game in my head and all that, motivated from storylines from Final Fantasy and Metal Gear and all sorts of games. So originally, the prequel was the original story. The prequel story was the original story. And so originally what happened is a comet flew over the Earth and it exploded, providing crystals, the elemental crystals for every corner of the Earth. The water crystals, the fire crystal, the lightning crystal, the time crystal, the shadow crystal, all 10 elements.
Yeah, xenogenesis of the crystals.
Yes. And those crystals provided energy, gave new energy to the Earth. Now, those very crystals also started changing nature itself, like the animals in particular. Elephants started regressing back to their former ancestor stage, like the mammoths.
Yeah, the woolly mammoth.
Mammoths, the saber-toothed tigers, the mastodons, the dinosaurs, and these monsters started coming up and destroying everything. Now, this is all happened just before World War II. Okay, so during this time, whoever was under the crystal comet when it exploded essentially became the strongest there were. Those are the Italians. They're the masters of the elements.
Yeah.
So, and if you read the project I'm working on, The Crystal Age, 1935 to present, you get to read a little bit of this these stories, just a bunch of short stories going over what happened, the history, some of the World War II soldiers going on, what humans did when they found crystals, the first elementals that were discovered, people, stuff like that. So you go over, so the first elemental found was a Kazakto. It's pretty much a flying serpent. I don't know if you know the lore behind the Kazakto. It's a flying serpent from Mexico. It's like
how do you say it? Yeah. I think you're saying it right, but you're probably saying it more right than I am.
Kazakto. Yeah, it's if you played Final Fantasy VIII, you know what I'm talking about. The very first summon you get, along with Shiva. flying serpents. That's the first elemental found. It's found in Mexico, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then more elementals start showing up. You got flare mammoths showing up in Arizona. You have mist wolves showing up in California. You have giants showing up in Ireland and England, and just shadow elementals showing up in Japan. Just water elementals all over the ocean. So once the humans are discovering these elementals are alive and they're real, they start attacking them, and everything just goes to shit. So we're at the point where the Forlorn Hope is written. Essentially, it's already after everything's gone to shit. There's bastions because of the mercenaries and the reclaimers. They've fought them out certain cities and were able to rebuild them, and they run the cities like they plant trees on top of houses to save space, because if you have a city you need space. And then they cultivate specific animal types, huge animal types like elephants. They use them for food and milk and stuff like that, meat and all that, because they're just bigger and it saves space. And yeah, that's basically how all the cities would be. Every city is different and unique in its own way. Some cities have different animals. Some cities use they also use the crystals to gain an advantage in that world. So all the prequel consequences and that I'm currently writing about now, how they affect the world I'm writing in. You always have to mention the crystals, because they play a huge part. They play a huge part in the story. Everything's powered by them. You can essentially do anything with them. Like with the earth crystals, for example, I get a bucket, right, and I attach an earth crystal to it, and I put soil into it, and I decide to throw some apple seeds into it. In a day, the apple seed will grow into a tree, and then like the next day, it'll actually be blooming apples and all that stuff. And that's how they use the crystal. Eventually, the crystal runs out of energy. Take it out, leave it in the sun. It'll regain its energy. You can put it back, do it all over again. That's how the world sort of works with that. But the elementals are so strong that they've only been able to take so many cities back. At the current moment in the country, there's like 4 major cities: Seattle, San Francisco,
screw San Francisco.
Yeah, screw San Francisco. Minneapolis Beach, and Corpus Christi in Texas, and Laramie is kind of, I guess it's major. It's kind of like a hidden in the mountains. It's like one of those fortress cities that. But generally, all the cities are tiny. They're probably about 10,000 people, maybe. Probably less. No, 10,000 doesn't sound like very little, but it's really crammed. I saw a video on YouTube where the most crammed. It's a city in Ghana or something like that, and they've crammed about 2 million people in the size of a city block.
Basically, the first reaction was to attack shit. And I did notice also in what you were building right there that each of them are also based around, these different creatures are based around the legends and the national history of those people. You know what I mean? Like you'll find shadow demons in Japan and the giants in Ireland. I mean, were there any vice versa or any cross up with that? Just curious.
Really, I chose at random, and it just happened to kind of fall. It just kind of happened to fall in that lineup. Like the reason I chose Ireland and England for the Giants in particular is because they're stuck on an island. So when the Giants and everyone come to attack them, they have to abandon England essentially. So at the current moment in my present time, there's no one lives in England or Ireland. Everyone's essentially chased out. They had to go other places because they couldn't fight them out. They didn't know how to kill them. They didn't have the technology to kill them. and they had to essentially abandon the island. That's why one of the big things in one of the big missions in my story. It's not like a main storyline mission, but it's like people hear of this legend. Like if you want to be there when they reclaim England. You want to be there when they reclaim Ireland. You want to be there when they reclaim the Philippines and stuff like that.
But it's still an impetus, something that propels your characters forward in the story. It's something that flushes them out a bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a motivating factor because one of my characters' ancestors is from England, and they remember the castle, getting to watch Manchester United play football games, stuff like that. They remember, their grandpa remembers those times. They never got to experience it, and those areas are just wasting away while they wait. And then one of the things she wants to really go be there when they reclaim England. And and my main character makes a promise.
I feel you.
Main character makes a promise, hey, we're gonna do it one day. Like we're gonna train hard. We're gonna reclaim England. And that's a deal between them. So they're training right now, so they can not just reclaim England, just be great mercenaries and reclaim us. That would be.
I mean, I'm digging that, and even more so. And I know it's kind of a stretch to say it's almost Pacific Rim-ish. Once again, reclaiming it for the motherland kind of bullshit. I like that.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
One more time.
Oh, this thing's starting. Some of the audio did kind of warp up, but I can take care of that. Don't worry. But that last one though, I thought you actually straight disconnected on accident. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up? How many? So
I'll do it 5.
I don't even know how long that was. I guess we can get a couple more minutes. First and foremost, though, I want you to do me a favor. So, like I said, I'm gonna edit this later on and combine it into one thing, and then I'll do the jump cut to go back to the show proper. Do me a favor and just give me your name, your website, wherever you want to send people to. If you got a page, the name of your book, and really quick, like 2 or 3 minutes, blow all you want. What's it about?
All right. So, whenever you are, I'm ready.
Ready, steady, go.
My name's Travion Satterwhite. I go by the writing pseudonym TM Satterwhite or Travion Satterwhite, depending. My book is called The Forlorn Hope. It is about the Reclaimers defeating the bastard elementals to reclaim their motherland. A lot of my writing can be received on the Neptunium Age at .wordpress.com, and a lot of times
restate your the voice garbaged out real quick. Can you restate your author name?
TM Satterwhite.
Okay, go.
Yes. And my website is theneptuniumage.wordpress.com, where you read up on some of the short stories, on some of the backstory of some of the other characters, and a lot of the stuff I'm writing right now for my current project, the short stories with the history and everything, will also be on that website. So you can check that out. And yeah, I basically make these videos at times, pretty much ranting about political shit. If you're really interested in that. So, yeah.
I'm starting the Peanut Gallery at some point in time for my Straight Talk segment. I'd love to actually bring you onto that. Just so we can both blow about the shit you blow about on Facebook anyway. So just saying. The kind of shit you and I lose our minds about on Facebook. I would like to do that with you and a few other people. Straight talk. It's just something for later on. All right. Well, for the most part, I will of course also get your links up into the comments box. I will also get your description up and your links into the description area. So I'll get you for there. Don't worry.
Okay.
Pretty much every time you see me do this, this is the magic of my editing. When I'm doing this secretly, I have just edited something and will edit it. So I'm just saying. It also makes a nice noise. Believe it or not, when I'm doing the video edits, and I look for that particular sonic wave. It's like sonic boom, and it's just right there. I know right off the bat where the sound is to when I'm doing a clap. So I don't know. It's one of those things.
Yes.
Well, I think that was roughly 10 care. So for the most part, just really quick, just give us a quick, not a quick, but just give us a description of the book itself? Because I know I asked for that, but I didn't hear it. You know, it follows the story. What's the word? It follows the story of a guy who goes through Balam Gardens who actually sleeps with Quistis. Because damn it, I would have gone for Quistis, but I'm into blondes, and you know, blondes are into me.
I was really sad that he didn't. Yeah, but yeah, my main character, Victor Mercury, he's you know, he's kind of I guess he's a troublemaker among his city, and he's trying to get into the academy, and all he ever wants to do is just to be a reclaimer, because he doesn't find the glamour of being like you can be like a pro sports person and always be protected and always get food and all that stuff, but he doesn't want to do that. His motivation is more noble. He just wants to be a great fighter and save people and do his service to his country and his family, you know. So
yeah,
and eventually he's given this chance to become a reclaimer, and he goes to Otton. It's in the Oregon area. It's like the whole state of Oregon, but it's been elementally modified. You know, they've created mountains around it, like, so it's like a fortress. And they go in there and they train and they learn about the elementals and they fight, and they learn to develop their own elemental techniques and all that. So it's.
I just personally, what I would love to see is somebody summon up 10 fucking bears. I don't even want them to have an element. They just have the ability to summon 10 fucking bears. I'm going to be writing that into some of my own shit, but I'm just tossing it to you if you want to do some shit like that. There you go.
There are.
What is this power? It really has one power. Bears! I want that. You like that idea. That's a good idea, man. I'm saying.
The Italians can summon specific elementals, depending, but he has to gain that power first. So he has an extraordinary amount, but he has fuck all idea on how to use it. So he's currently learning.
You know, I think Anne McCaffrey did something like that, where you mentioned extraordinary. Thought of, there's this one book series that she did where it was like a war wizard and a battle mage or something, that when they show up, it's the end of an era, and gets like the 3 books of some wizard thing, but it's given to him by a unicorn. And the first thing that happens is the unicorn tricks him into slipping into a river because she's just a bitch. It's like just straight up trolling his ass, just like, damn, I couldn't even believe that shit happened. Kind of. And it was a beautiful moment where he was like reflective. It is one of my kind of, well, I guess I learned it from reading Anne McCaffrey. So that slapstick kind of bullshit, like, oh, that's like get the popcorn, get the tea kind of bullshit right there. So, and of course you're writing in Nani Mume Mo Nana. I can never say that. Nani Mo, right? I'll have it in the keywords anyway. So, you know, at least you're doing that, and you're pumping out more. See, that's what I like especially, is that you're pumping out more of the short stories to support the main book, which is what I do personally with the Taboo X series, as well as the Taboo episodes for the Generalist. So I dig that.
Yes.
Man, I dig what you, and of course I will be linking everyone to that shit, so that way because you have it up at your WordPress, right?
Once the month is over, I'll have it up on the website. Just because I gotta try to write everything I can, get everything I can down, and then I'll post it on there. But for right now, you have about 12 days for me to get as much as possible. Right now, I'm about to finish the 4th part, and I have about 30 stories written so far on that part.
Well, remember, this is episode 6, so by now that goes up, your stuff's probably already up. So I'll link them anyway and send them your way, man.
All right. I appreciate
it. By all means, bro. By all means. Thank you for coming on here, and thanks for just blowing a little bit about that. Like I said, with prequel consequences, like I'll be saying in the main portion of the show, I just really like the backstory of what you had going on, but even more so the consequences thereof. You know, the fact that you had this really, from what I read, it was even more sweeping than what you told me. But by all means, and like I said, the consequences of the actions taken beforehand is what has helped you develop the world that you got now.
Yes.
Something like that. Something deep. just pretend like I said something good, please. It'll work for everybody. Well, thank you. What the fuck was your writing name? TM Satterwhite?
TM Satterwhite. That's right.
Yeah. TM, you should do a TM Satterwhite.com.
Pokemon.
Let's go back.
Think Pokemon at.
Huh?
Think Pokemon at Satterwhite. TM Satterwhite.
So on that note, let's go back to the thing with a simple